down my whole life.
Right.
Right? I had expectations, and everyone I had expectations let me down. And I didn't want this relationship ruined.
Did you tell her that?
I told
tell her that, but did you really mean that?
I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't mean it. I wanted to see if she take the exit.
Right.
Like if he giving me a, like sometimes
I would take it.
and sometimes you give someone an out to see if they take it.
Yeah.
And if they take it, that's what they really want. That.
You believe that Kendra and young Jock were getting along fine, but the controversy is set to blow everything up since Kendra is allegedly pregnant. But guess what? It's not Jock's father. The true father isn't, I promise, and you're not ready for this one since there are rumors that the man who. This treachery was committed by someone Jock trusted, not just any person. When Jock found out, the situation seemed like it was taken from a reality TV screenplay. Replete with smashed glass, the person Kendra has been secretly seeing, and journalists crowding the house. The worst thing, though, is that the man responsible for this betrayal isn't just a casual hookup. Oh no, it's. When the truth was revealed, Jock didn't simply lose it. Instead, he snapped because someone close to him had been smiling in his face the entire time. How did Kendra manage to keep this a secret for so long, and who is the mystery man? The TM is about to leak, so hold on tight, sweetheart. It's scorching. The tea is now departing Jock and Kendra's reality, so let's get started. Congratulations if you believe that Jock and Kendra were now in a decent position after all the infidelity scandals and reality TV turmoil. This most recent revelation is unprecedented. Allow me to take you back because, as anybody who has been following young Jock and Kendra's relationship has seen, these two have. Kendra has somehow stood with the Jock despite the full ugly reality TV starter pack, which includes infidelity, gossip, public humiliation, side women appearing out of the blue, and more. Although her patience is admirable, it appears that even Kendra has her limitations, since what just came out will wreck everything. Here is everything we currently know about Kendra. Jock is not the father, which is stunning. You heard right. Insiders say it gets much messier, so if you think that's terrible, wait a minute. Jock was unaware of the pregnancy, and by insiders I mean the usual shady people who always know Jock's business before he does. Nope, through Kendra. A leaked medical report that allegedly confirmed Kendra's pregnancy told him about it, but the DNA test, ruled out Jock as the father. In just a few minutes after the story was out, Twitter went haywire. Jock isn't the father in the end, then why am I asking so Jock when Kendra couldn't have done Jock nasty like that? Wait, it gets worse because Jock lost it when he understood, oh honey, that Esichi was the one sneaking while he was out here guarding Kendra all along. The reality TV star was exposed in a paternity case, and insiders claim that Jock was out running errands when his phone started to ring with missed calls, messages, and headlines. Oh, they were brutal. Kendra is pregnant, but Jock isn't the daddy. Witnesses said that Jock was seen pacing back and forth, shaking his head and muttering to himself, and that he threw his phone across the room so violently that it fell to the ground. At first, Jock didn't believe it, thinking it was some sick joke because, really, Kendra wouldn't do that to him. Broken on the floor, according to one source, the Jock kept saying, "This can't be real. This can't be real. Oh, but it was real." The Jock drove home after realizing that Kendra had been lying to him the entire time, and this is where it gets intense because the energy changed when he got inside the house, and it looked like Kendra was sitting on the couch. She was looking through her phone as if nothing had occurred when Joker stormed in, slammed the door, and screamed, "You have something to tell me." Kendra didn't even flutter an eye, instead giving him a bored expression and asking, "What are you talking about? Don't play with me. You know what I'm talking about," Kendra allegedly remarked as she moved closer. "I'm pregnant," Kendra shrugged. Jock allegedly took Kendra's phone off the sofa, looked her in the eyes, and asked, not the father, "Who is it?" Kendra and Kendra. You simply have to look at his face to notice the veins protruding from his forehead. Yes, she grinned. She really did have the gall to ask, "Does it matter, baby?" According to witnesses, Jock lost it. You're going to be shocked because Jockey wasn't the only person who showed up that night. Oh no, just as things were about to break. He was screaming at Kendra, demanding to know the father's identity, but Kendra, oh sis, was sitting there seemingly unconcerned. The coffee table knocked over a lamp and punched the wall so hard that it caused a dent. Do you know who entered the room? It was Kirk Frost, the same Kirk Frost who has been avoiding cheating scandals for years, the same Kirk Frost who has been smiling at Jock the whole time, the same Kirk Frost who was Jock's so-called friend. According to reports, Jock turned to Kendra the moment it all made sense. Now you know, oh my god, witnesses say. Jock lunged toward Kirk, and security had to physically hold him back. You're supposed to be my brother. How could you do this to me? Kendra, well, just crossed her arms and muttered, you wanted to know who the father was. Kirk chuckled and remarked, you're supposed to be my brother. The Jock isn't the type to just walk away though, as rumors have it that he is already calling his lawyers. The worst part was that security dragged him out of the house while Kirk and Kendra stood side by side, watching him go completely insane. Kirk allegedly said, hey man, it just kind of happened, but he didn't. As you already know, social media is going crazy on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, and Kendra is really just playing Jock like that. Kirk Frost needs to sit down, doesn't he? Kendra, oh sis, may have just started a war she isn't prepared for, and Kirk, oh honey, if you think Joe's going to get away with this, think again. But the question is, how long has this been going on, and did Kendra really think she would get away with this? Oh, you better stay locked in because this scandal is far from over, and trust me, you're not prepared for what's coming next. Oh, you thought that was messy. This is war, and no one has time for this messy behavior, Jock. He should call his lawyers as soon as possible. Now that the consequences are coming and Jock isn't going to ignore this, let's pick up where we left off because after Jock was physically dragged out of that house, the fallout from this scandal is about to reach nuclear levels, honey. Jock's discovery that Kendra is expecting Kirk's child was just the beginning of the fallout. This wasn't just about betrayal, so it's hard to blame him. According to sources, the enraged Jock was seen sitting in his car, gripping the steering wheel so tightly that his knuckles turned white. Witnesses say he sat there for a good 15 minutes without moving or speaking, just breathing heavily as if he was trying to stop himself from doing something crazy. Kendra had gotten pregnant by one of Jock's best friends, and Kirk, didn't even have the grace to feel bad about it. In fact, he laughed in Jock's face. This was humiliating, but it got worse when Jock was sitting in that car trying to understand what had happened when his phone exploded again. This time it wasn't. According to reports, Kirk and Kendra were spotted holding hands at a fancy lounge in Atlanta the same evening. The paparazzi found them walking in together, appearing unconcerned, and the pictures went viral on the internet. A few minutes later, Kendra and Kirk departed together while Jock plummeted. Sources claim that while Kendra was out here winning, Kirk, Atlanta's newest power couple Jock, was acting clumsy. Oh my god, the Jock allegedly lost it after seeing the pictures and called Kendra straight to voicemail, then called Kirk straight to voicemail and left a number of heated messages, the content of which is insane. Kirk wasn't concerned because, guess what? Kirk went live on Instagram, live with Kendra sitting next to him, sipping wine. Kirk smiled at the camera and said, you guys should mind your own business and move on. You should give me a call back. You think this is a game. You think this is funny. I'm sorry, but it was reported that Jock was sitting at home, trembling with anger, watching this in real time. One insider, CL, said that Jock even threw his phone across the room and screamed, oh hell and no. After that, Jock got into his car and drove straight to Kirk's house, where the neighbors were still talking about what had happened. That night, Jock apparently approached Kirk's home door and started beating on it, as though he was going to tear it down. Kirk allegedly smirked as he opened the door and said, you good, bro. But he didn't, and that's when Jock lunged at him. Witnesses claim that Jock grabbed Kirk by the collar and pushed him against the wall while shouting, you think this is funny? You believe you can just take my girl and get away with it? Kirk allegedly shoved Kirk back and said, calm down, buddy, it's not my fault Kendra picked me. That was it. Hard sources claim that Kirk swung on Kirk, punching him so hard that Kirk stumbled and fell back into the wall. But he came back swinging, and baby, it turned into a full-on brawl. Security was called because Kirk's neighbors heard the noise and thought someone was being robbed. And when they got there, they had to physically separate Kirk, who was reportedly yelling, while they were rolling around on the floor, throwing punches at each other, and Kendra was just standing there drinking as if nothing had happened. This is not over. I'm not done with you, and Kirk, had the gall to laugh and say, yeah, you are the security guards who forced the Jock out of the house. And guess what? The Jock left with a torn shirt and a bloody lip, and Kirk was standing in the doorway, adjusting his chain, looking completely unconcerned. But even better, while the Jock was driving home, furious. Feeling embarrassed and ashamed, guess what happened? That same evening, a brand new video was leaked, and it's awful. It shows Kendra sitting in a dim hotel room and speaking to an unidentified man, and what she's saying is worse than you might think. Jock doesn't even realize he still thinks we're going to work. Things out, and the man, well, you can hear his voice, but you can't see his face clearly, says, "Well, what I don't know won't hurt him." Kendra then adds, "I'm just waiting until the baby is born." The jock will have no choice but to move on once the DNA results are in. Oh my god, social media went crazy in a matter of minutes. Kendra set this up because Twitter was on fire. The video sources claim that Jock was pacing his house in a rage, saying repeatedly, "She played me, she really played me." Jock isn't just angry. He's in revenge mode because he has reportedly already contacted his lawyers. Yes, Jock is reportedly planning to sue. Kirk and Kendra are outright villains, and during that entire period, Jock needed to get legal help as soon as possible. Jock may have a case against Kendra and Kirk for emotional harm and defamation because insiders now claim that Kendra and Jock had a prenuptial agreement. If Jock can prove that Kendra's adultery caused emotional distress and public humiliation, then Kendra may lose both Jock and the bag. Meanwhile, Kendra and Kirk have reportedly gone into hiding. The real question, however, is how long this has been going on, and did Kirk and Kendra really think they were going to expose Kirk and Kendra for everything they did to him? Sources say that Kirk has stopped returning his calls and that Kendra has completely vanished. But Jock isn't letting this go, reportedly having already set up an interview with a major news outlet. Well, you had better stay locked in because this drama is far from over. Oh, you thought that was bad, but you have no idea, honey. The fallout from this scandal is going to explode. Jock's discovery that Kendra was expecting Kirk's child was just the beginning. To get away with this, and more importantly, is Jock going to defeat them both? We should pick up where we left off because Jock wasn't going to sit back and let Kirk and Kendra humiliate him like that after that explosive fight at Kirk's house. He wasn't just angry, he was ready for war, and Kirk and Kendra. Oh, they might have just put themselves in a situation from which they can't get out. According to Eider, Jock had a plan because he wasn't just looking to settle this quietly. No, he wanted to go public. The very next morning, Jock reportedly called up his legal team. I'm talking about the same strong lawyers who have represented some of the biggest names in hip-hop. And Jock had a plan because he wasn't just seeking retribution. He was also trying to destroy Kirk and Kendra's entire reputation, and guess what? Jock had the receipts to back it up. It seems that Jock has been keeping tabs on Kendra's dubious activities for months. Sources claim that Jock provided his attorneys with a file that included surveillance footage, bank statements, and phone logs that allegedly showed Kendra had been seeing Kirk covertly for. We're talking about expensive gifts, private dinners, and opulent hotel rooms that were all paid for with Jock's money. Let me reiterate, Kirk was using Jock's money to finance his affair with Kendra. The worst part is that Jock had receipts that showed Kirk had been using money from their joint business account to finance these secret meetings over the course of more than a year. But wait, it gets worse. As you already know, social media was consuming this, so Kirk was cheating and stealing, and Jock needs to bury him. Kirk wasn't just sleeping with Kendra, he was using company funds to do so. According to Jock's legal team, Kirk could face serious financial